Jay-Z's personal lawyer is now leading the investigation into Tupac's murder. Not the cops, not the FBI. Jay-Z's guy. And here's where it gets interesting. The same man accused of ordering the hit, Diddy, is sitting in federal prison right now. The timing of this? Not a coincidence. Tupac's family hired Alex Spiro back in October 2024, right after Diddy got locked up on federal charges. Spiro isn't just any attorney. He's the same lawyer who got Alec Baldwin's manslaughter case dismissed. He got Jay-Z's defamation lawsuit thrown out earlier this year. He even got Eric Adams' corruption charges dropped. This man has a track record of making problems disappear. And now he's digging into whether Diddy paid $1 million to have Tupac killed. But here's the part nobody's talking about. Why would Jay-Z loan out his personal attorney to investigate his old friend? DJ Academics went on his stream and said what everybody's been thinking. He alleged Jay might be getting ahead of something, that maybe Diddy, who's facing decades in prison, might start talking. And when you've got pictures with someone for 30 years, you don't want them becoming a government witness with nothing to lose. Now let me take you back to that night, September 7th, 1996. Las Vegas was electric. Mike Tyson had just knocked out Bruce Seldon in the first round at the MGM Grand. The fight was so quick, so devastating, that the crowd was still amped up looking for more action. And sitting ringside with the Death Row Records crew was Tupac Shakur himself. He was fresh off dropping All Eyes on Me, dominating the charts, and riding high as the undisputed face of West Coast hip-hop. By his side was Suge Knight, the towering CEO of Death Row, who had bailed Tupac out of prison and given him a second shot at stardom. Here's where things get thick. After the fight, as Tupac and his entourage were leaving through the MGM Grand lobby, one of Tupac's crew spotted Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, a known Southside Compton Crips member. There was already beef brewing. Back in July 1996, Orlando Anderson and other Crips allegedly tried to rob Trevin Trey Lane, a Mob Peru affiliate connected to Suge Knight, at a mall in Lakewood, California. So when Tupac spotted Orlando in that lobby, he didn't hesitate. He walked up, asked if Anderson was from the South, and punched him straight to the ground. Suge Knight and others joined in. The whole thing was caught on hotel surveillance. Security broke it up quick, but the fuse was lit. Tupac went back to his suite at the Luxor, changed into a basketball jersey, and hopped in that infamous black BMW 750EL with Suge Knight. They were heading to Club 662, a venue owned by Knight, for a charity concert. What Tupac didn't know was that retaliation was already in motion. The streets moved fast. News of that MGM Grand beatdown had spread through the Crips network like wildfire. Around 11 p.m., Tupac's BMW sat at a red light at East Flamingo Road and Koval Lane. According to multiple accounts, Tupac was actually hanging out the window, vibing, talking to some women in a nearby car. He had no idea death was rolling up next to him. A white four-door Cadillac pulled up alongside them. 4.40 caliber rounds were fired from a Glock 22. Tupac was struck twice in the chest, once in the arm, and once in the thigh. One bullet punctured his right lung. Suge Knight was grazed by a bullet, but somehow managed to drive that shot-up car with a flat tire about a mile before police pulled them over. Tupac was rushed to University Medical Center. Surgeons removed his right lung. He was placed in a medically induced coma. For 6 days, he fought for his life. His girlfriend, Kidada Jones, Quincy Jones's daughter, rushed to his bedside and played Don McLean's Vincent on a CD player. Tupac reportedly responded with a moan and mouthed that he loved her. Even on the verge of death, he was still communicating love. On September 13th, 1996, at 4:03 p.m., Tupac Shakur was pronounced dead. For decades, nobody was talking. The streets were quiet. Witness after witness caught amnesia. But then Dwayne Keffi D. Davis, a former Southside Compton Crips leader and Orlando Anderson's uncle, started opening his mouth. In his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend, Keffi D. detailed being in the front passenger seat of that white Cadillac, Terrence T. Brown driving, Anderson and DeAndre Big Dre Smith in the back. He described watching his nephew lean over and start blasting. He said he saw Suge Knight get grazed by that bullet and thought the man was dead. He sat there and watched it all happen. But here's where Diddy comes in. In a recorded 2008 police interview, Kefi D told LAPD investigators that Puffy offered him $1 million to handle Suge Knight and Tupac. He claims Diddy was at a party in a whole room full of Crips and said he'd give anything for Suge's head. According to Kefi D, a separate private meeting happened where the actual assassination order came down. He said Eric Zip Martin, a drug lord from Harlem allegedly connected to Diddy's family, had a gun compartment hidden in his car. This car was reportedly driven in from out of town. The court documents filed by prosecutors in July of 2024 mentioned Diddy's name 47 times. 47. In a murder case that happened 28 years ago, and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police responded to all this by saying, and I quote, Sean Combs has never been considered a suspect in the Tupac Shakur homicide investigation. They said this in July 2024, right before Diddy got arrested on completely separate federal charges 2 months later. So where does Jay-Z fit in all this? Alex Spiro has been Jay's go-to fixer for years. He helped him win $4.5 million in a Cologne lawsuit in 2021. He got 21 Savage released from ICE custody back in 2019. He defended Jay when a woman accused him of assault earlier this year. That lawsuit got dropped in February 2025. Spiro is basically the closer. When things get messy, he makes them clean. And now this same attorney is working for Tupac's family. The investigation started in October 2024, according to TMZ and Rolling Stone. They also brought on attorney Christopher Clore and a team of private investigators. Their job is simple. Find out if Diddy really did put that hit out. Here's what makes this even stranger. Kirk Burroughs, the actual co-founder of Bad Boy Records, filed a lawsuit in March 2025, claiming Diddy orchestrated Tupac's murder. He's not some random person on the internet. He was there from day one. He kept handwritten journals of everything that happened at Bad Boy. He says Diddy felt unchecked jealousy toward Tupac, especially when Biggie started becoming friends with him. He claims Diddy rented cars for men from Harlem to drive to Las Vegas days before the shooting. None of those cars were connected to Bad Boy on paper. The Netflix documentary Sean Combs: The Reckoning dropped in December 2024 and featured audio from Kefi D's proffer session with investigators. You can actually hear him laughing and joking with police about Diddy's alleged involvement. He describes how the whole thing went down like he's telling stories at a barbecue. But here's the thing about Kefi D. He's been telling different versions of this story for years. He wrote that book. He did BET interviews, YouTube appearances, a documentary. He basically built a brand around being the man who was there when Tupac died. Then he got arrested in September 2023, and suddenly it was all entertainment. Just stories he made up for money. In a jailhouse interview with ABC News in March 2025, he sat there and said, "I'm innocent," and claimed he was actually in Los Angeles that night, not Vegas. He says 20 to 30 people will testify to his alibi. After decades of confessing, he wants everyone to forget what he said. His trial was supposed to happen in March 2025. Then it got pushed to February 2026. Now it's set for August 2026. His new lawyers say they need time to review voluminous evidence. They're also claiming Reggie Wright Jr., who ran security for Death Row Records, actually orchestrated the shooting. That's a brand new theory that just emerged this year. Meanwhile, Kefi D is sitting in High Desert State Prison serving 16 to 40 months for a jailhouse fight from December 2024. He's 62 years old, a cancer survivor, fighting for his freedom and watching everyone else point fingers. So what's really happening here? You've got Tupac's family hiring Jay-Z's attorney to investigate Diddy. You've got Diddy in federal prison on trafficking charges, convicted in July 2025 and serving 50 months. You've got the only person charged in Tupac's murder claiming Diddy paid for the hit, then recanting, then changing lawyers 3 times, then filing motions to suppress evidence. And you've got a documentary featuring the actual founder of Bad Boy saying his former partner had Tupac killed. His trial was supposed to happen in March 2025. Then it got pushed to February 2026. Now it's set for August 2026. His new lawyers say they need time to review voluminous evidence. They're also claiming Reggie Wright Jr., who ran security for Death Row Records, actually orchestrated the shooting. That's a brand new theory that just emerged this year. Meanwhile, Kefi D is sitting in High Desert State Prison serving 16 to 40 months for a jailhouse fight from December 2024. He's 62 years old, a cancer survivor, fighting for his freedom and watching everyone else point fingers. So what's really happening here? You've got Tupac's family hiring Jay-Z's attorney to investigate Diddy. You've got Diddy in federal prison on trafficking charges, convicted in July 2025 and serving 50 months. You've got the only person charged in Tupac's murder claiming Diddy paid for the hit, then recanting, then changing lawyers 3 times, then filing motions to suppress evidence. And you've got a documentary featuring the actual founder of Bad Boy saying his former partner had Tupac killed. And honestly, the defense keeps changing their story too. First it was, I wasn't there. Then it was, the evidence is stale. Now it's Reggie Wright Jr. Did it. They've had 3 different attorneys. Every time the trial date approaches, something pushes it back. The prosecutors, on the other hand, have all of Kefe D's own words working against him. His book, his interviews, his police statements, his documentary appearances. At one point, he was literally bragging about being connected to Tupac's death. He confessed to the LAPD in 2008. He gave a statement to Las Vegas Metro PD in 2009. He went on BET and YouTube and told the same story over and over from 2018 to 2023. And now he's calling it entertainment. There's also the matter of the new evidence that prosecutors discovered. In July 2024, they filed papers revealing they had a box of materials they never showed to the grand jury. This included an interview with one of Kefi D's cousins who corroborated his version of events. That interview happened 2 years before Kefi D ever made his first police statement. So somebody in that family was talking before Kefi D ever opened his mouth. But the biggest development nobody's connecting is the timing. Tupac's family hired Spiro right when Diddy's empire started crumbling. They started their investigation right when the federal government started locking Diddy up. And now Kefi D's trial keeps getting pushed back while Diddy sits in prison with all his secrets. You can't tell me that's all coincidence. And look, I'm not saying Jay-Z solved this case, but when your personal attorney is leading the investigation and the main suspect just happens to be your rival who's now facing prison time with nothing to lose, that's not justice. That's chess. So what do you think? Is Spiro really trying to find the truth about Tupac? Or is this about making sure certain names stay out of Diddy's mouth? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you're just now realizing how deep this goes, subscribe because we're just getting started.